Assalamu alaikum, everyone. You are now tuned to Shakil Co on America's Islamic Radio. I'm your host, Kevin Shakil, and today's exciting interview is sponsored by JG Advisors, the Mugs and Beans Company, and Tech Bytes, a concierge managed service provider. Today we have the one and only SQ. Assalamu alaikum, brother. How you doing today?
Assalamu, bro.
It's good to see you, man. How's your day?
Alhamdulillah, it's great, bro.
How's your Saturday going?
Saturday is blessed because I'm here. And alhamdulillah, super happy to be here, grateful to be here.
It's been a while. I mean, we've been trying to get you out here for a while, and things have been popping up. But alhamdulillah, you're out here, man.
We made it. Alhamdulillah, we made it happen. Michelle made it happen. She called me. I do want to say one thing. She called me Mr. Hijama. I'm kind of liking it, Mr. Hijama.
Mr. Hijama. So, SQ, tell me a little bit about yourself, man. I want our viewers to get to know who you are.
Man, it's really tough for me to just say everything in just one shot. One of the best ways to actually get to know me is through my Instagram page, Way of Life SQ. But a little bit about me. I do have a hijama clinic, and that's what we're going to be talking about more. But also, I'm a school teacher. That's what a lot of people
No way.
I'm a school teacher, bro. 8th grade math. Shout out to Bronx Park Middle School.
Wait. Hold on. Did you say math?
Math, 8th grade.
Oh my God.
Doing math, bro.
My high school math teacher told me that, Kevin, do whatever you want to do in life. As long as it doesn't require math, you'll be successful. Mrs. Mafucci, this is for you.
Yeah, man. Math is a tough subject, but you know what? I always attribute someone's success to math based on their teacher. If they had a really good teacher, I ain't trying to have my kids become engineers. All I'm saying is that math teaches problem solving, and that's what I'm there to teach them, problem solving.
That's amazing. How was that experience for you?
Alhamdulillah, I teach in a public school setting, so I'm seeing so much diversity. I see everything that's out there, man, and I just love the fact that I'm within my community because I teach in my neighborhood. So, I'm a part. I see my students, my children. I see them, and it's such a blessing and an honor.
MashaAllah, that's amazing. So, SQ, how did you get into hijama?
You know what, bro? It's actually an interesting story. So it all started when I had my Instagram page and my YouTube channel and all that sort of stuff, and I'm helping, alhamdulillah, thousands of people. Mm-hmm. And then guess what happens? People are sending me their problems. They're sending, SQ, I'm having this issue. I'm having these marital issues. SQ, I'm having these issues with my iman. SQ, my children are onto drugs and all these other stuff. They're hooked on pornography. SQ, how can we fix this? So I devised a plan, what if I had a clinic? And the design behind this clinic was that it's going to be helping for counseling if, Muslim parents are having problems with their children, or perhaps children or young adults are having problems in school education, just trying to figure out life. They needed a safe space because guess what, bro? They don't feel comfortable telling their parents. They don't feel comfortable telling the imam. But I'm just a regular dude who just loves them. You know what I mean? So they open up to me really well. I create a really good respect and rapport environment, alhamdulillah. And, hijama is a skill that I've had for a long time. So I'm like, okay, well, what if I created a clinic that not only, does the spiritual detax of us talking it out? Because there's not many Muslim counselors out there that I know of. You know what I mean?
I agree.
That could vibe with the community. And what if I could combine that aspect of things and I could actually heal their bodies? If those two things, those prophetic things are combined together, it's a recipe for success, and alhamdulillah, it has been.
So when you have these kids who come to you with their problems, right? I mean, how does that impact you? I mean, when you see somebody opening up to you, I mean, what's the reward for you?
I think, so, that's super important for people to understand that in order to maintain sincere, true, happiness, you have to give without expectations. When we give expecting something in return, that's when we're in for the biggest disappointment, right? Even when I came and I talked to you about this and how this interview would go, we were just like, well, I thought it was going to be like this. Well, that's when I had expectations. Mm-hmm. If I just roll with the flow and let it vibe, like we vibing right now, you know what I mean? If it vibes like this, then alhamdulillah, there isn't a problem. But when we give with expectation, that's it. When people come to the clinic, when people are hitting me up, when I'm doing Skype counseling, whatever it might be, I am not expecting anything in return. Yeah, there's a fee for certain things, like for the actual hijama, but that's just to make sure that the lights are on. When you're counseling me, signing up for a 20-minute slot, but I'm giving you an hour, that's on the house because I just love you, So there's nothing in it for me. In fact, the thing that I get the most reward from is hearing about your problems, helping you out, and realizing there is nothing wrong with my life. When you hear about everyone's problems, bro, you realize that your problems are this big because people are going through real stuff. And I have no problems whatsoever. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. So when you're talking to these kids, right, what are the common issues you're seeing from today opposed to 2-3 years ago?
Yeah. I think that one of the biggest issues that I'm seeing right now in the community is identity issues. and just a lot of people trying to please their parents. A lot of kids are trying to please their parents, bro, and that's a great thing. In Islam, it's the highest of rewards, right? To be the best child, son, or daughter you possibly can. But guess what happens? If you start living the dreams of your parents and not like really standing up for your own dreams, that's where you lose your identity yourself. Like, you need to be coming to that sort of agreement and understanding that, you know what, like, mom, dad, like, I understand that you want me to be this engineer, but I really suck at math.
100%,
You know what I mean?
100%,
I really suck at
100%.
math. But you know what? I'm really good at communications. So I want to go to school for communications. I want to be into this industry. And guess what you did, bro? Look at this beautiful setup. This is absolutely dope, bro.
Thank you, thank you.
And the truth of the matter is that if you didn't pursue your dream, then you know what you would be doing? A job. This isn't a job. This isn't a career either. You know what this is called? It's called a calling.
Absolutely.
This is a calling, bro. When you are not, like, when you're doing something that's a job or career, that's just a paycheck. That's like, oh, I'm enjoying it a little bit. A calling, bro, like, you know, alhamdulillah, you know, obviously we all need to get paid, but this is something you do for free. I swear.
Absolutely.
You would, right? I would do this for free. You know, it is for free, but the idea is like, I just love it. It's a part of who I am. You get me? So, like, children out there, the biggest mistake, the problems I'm seeing right now is children are not following their calling. They're not figuring out their calling. You got to figure out their calling.
But then that brings us to another issue where it's about being secure, about job security, about, you know, being certain that, hey, if I go to school to become a doctor, I'm going to make money, right? So how do you get out of that mold?
Yeah. Good point. So I think that comes from a lot of self-awareness about who you are and what you actually enjoy. I would rather, like, would you want to be with a doctor? Like, you know, when we go see our doctors or general practitioners, whatever, we all assume that they love their job and they want to be there. But let's suppose you found out that your doctor doesn't like his job. Would you really want to go to him? Probably not. They keep that sort of stuff within themselves because they probably did it for the money or for whatever reason, other reasons that's out there. I'm here to tell you right now that if you're doing your calling, there's going to be a way to monetize it. Because you're so passionate about it that it's going to catch fire because you're passionate about it. You're going to put your sweat, your tears, and everything in there. And what's stopping you from starting a YouTube channel? Like, things work out. We're in a modern day and age of technology, of this is being broadcasted to thousands of people. SubhanAllah, it's a beautiful thing. All from this beautiful setup. Like, it's possible. If you're really passionate about it and you start focusing on your happiness and not the money will come. Money is a product, right? Money is the result of you doing what you really love to do. Because you could get a lot of money and you could be an accountant and hate your job, right? Mm-hmm. Or you could get that same amount of money, or if not a little lower, just grinding and hustling, doing something that you love. And I would take the lower paycheck, but doing something I absolutely love. That's just me.
So, SQ, I want to talk to you about you now.
Yeah.
I mean, where did this come from? Where did this all start from?
Yeah.
What made you, I mean, from a guy who's a school teacher to this exciting individual where I'm like, you know, pumped up right now to want to talk to. Where did this come from?
You know, so, you know, obviously all praise is to the Most High, first and foremost, you know what I mean? But I think it all just comes down to my passion to help people. It always has been. My calling is not being a teacher. My calling is not being a YouTuber. My calling is not being a hijama therapist. That's not my calling. I want to be clear. Yes, I do those things, but that's not my calling. My calling is to help people. And guess what I'm going to do? Any medium that allows me to help people, I'm going to join. Because if this is 2045 and there's a new platform out there, you best believe your boy SQ is going to be on that too. Because it doesn't matter what the platform is. Those are all mediums. My main goal is to help people. If that means physically through hijab, alhamdulillah, I'm going to do that. But I'm here to help people. I'm in the business of helping people. And that never goes out of style.
But I have a question for you. Where did this passion come from? Where did this resonate with you? Like, was there a moment in your life where you were like, I feel helpless, now I have to help back?
Yeah, bro, let me tell you something. It's so funny. I have this series called The Jahiliyyah Diaries, right? And I tell you about how I became who I am. And, you know, a lot of people don't know this about me, but I have, like, tattoos, as you can see. That's super strange for a Muslim to have. Especially, like, not necessarily a revert, but, like, being from a Pakistani house. I'm from Pakistan. Are you from Pakistan?
Yeah, I'm from Pakistan as well.
All right, cool. Khaki in the house. All right. Bindi, stand up. All right. So, you know what I mean? Like, I come from that household, so it's not really classic for someone to see. Bro, I've been doing so much wrong. I've encouraged people to do so much wrong that now that I'm, alhamdulillah, guided to the straight path and I'm still a work in progress, I'm using that same amount of energy that I called people to the wrong direction to tell not only those people, but the people to come. No. I was wrong. That's wrong. Don't do that. Come here. This is this. Learn from my mistakes. I'm not removing them because you need to learn from my mistakes. This isn't right. And if I remove this, I'm just hiding a mistake. And this is not about being a sin. That's in the past. I'm trying to teach you from my mistake, my errors, so I could save you that time and regret. That's why I'm doing this. If that makes sort of sense.
That makes a lot of sense. I actually seen one of your Instagram videos where somebody asked you, "Hey, is it haram to get a tattoo?" And you were like, "No," and you're like, "No, it's not haram." And you was like, "No, your mother's absolutely right."
Yeah. That's true.
What was the feeling behind that?
That's actually the day you and I met.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
The day you and I met. So history was made that day, mashallah, me and Kev linking up. I'd say this, bro. So a brother comes up to me, a little background story of that. And, sometimes people want to justify what they want to do. So when they see someone else doing it, they want to use them to, springboard their justification as to why they're doing it, So the brother comes up to me, he says, "Hey, bro, like you have the tattoo, so I'm assuming it's correct." And he's like, "You know what, my mom was saying that's haram or something like that. It displeases Allah. Like, why would I want to, do this?" And I'm like, "She said that? No way. She said that?" I'm like, "Yeah, she's right." And I gave an explanation, and you could check that out on Instagram. But it's not about the actual explanation. It's about how it's being explained. A lot of times people just want to say yes or no. Halal, haram. That doesn't teach a person a lesson. And most importantly, that doesn't teach a person how to think. Our job as adults, as parents, as leaders, is to put the pressure and put the actual heavier lifting on the person to yet let them use their akal, their mind, to think about it, reason with things, reason with the Quran, reason with the hadith, so that they can be self-sufficient. Because guess what, my bro? Kev isn't going to be around all the time to tell you what's right from wrong. Your boy SQ's not going to be around to always tell you what's right from wrong. I got to give you the tools to think and make decisions for yourself.
But growing up in a South Asian household, right, where it was like, "Oh, you shouldn't make your own decision." I say do this, you do this, right?
True.
What do you say to those people?
I say that you are hurting your child and creating a fake environment for them because you're not going to be there to hold their hand on forever. Like you're literally crippling your children. Parents out there who are listening to this, you're literally crippling your children when you do this, because when you're doing this, you're taking off all the responsibility, the consequences, the cause and effect that would happen if your child did something incorrect, because you're trying to save them from heartache and struggle. But guess what you're creating? A dependent child on you for the rest of their lives, that they won't know how to make a decision for themselves. Because guess what's happening? You think that your role is just like, "Oh, as a kid, but I'll let you think for yourself when you're an adult." Daughters who are being married to sons and stuff, and when the daughter is going through a problem with her husband and she's in a major problem, guess who he calls? Mom. She calls mom and starts complaining about the husband. And guess what happens when the husband is having a problem with his wife? He starts telling his mommy, right? Oh, and she starts advising, and that's why mother and mother-in-law daughters have issues with each other. You have to teach them how to think for themselves and make decisions, and let them mess up. You don't stop a child from falling all the time. Like, no, you're gonna fall. That's how they learn to walk. Mm-hmm. And guess what? You create an environment that's safe, that allows them to fall. Let your children fall. Create a space where it's safe for them to mess up. And they learn from their mistakes, and they become stronger walkers. They become stronger thinkers.
Well, the way you put it like that, parents, alhamdulillah, thank you guys for letting me fall so many times. Yeah. No, but my parents are my number one motivation. I'll tell you that today. Thank God.
I could tell that you have good upbringing because you were able to do this.
Alhamdulillah. A great team behind it.
A team. Because the way you are right now is because how you were raised. Believe it or not. However, we're not going to use it as an excuse. Obviously, you made your own decisions and choices. Alhamdulillah. But it was from good upbringing. It was from motivation. Hey, Kev, go after your dreams. Hey, Kev, do what you got to do. Do what's best for you.
So now I have another question for you. You have all of these viewers on your Instagram. You have all of these YouTube subscribers and followers, right? Yeah. Do you take a look back at yourself and I'm like, hey, maybe I'm saying something wrong one day and it might come back to bite me in the butt? Yeah. What do you think about that?
What's interesting is this, and as a human being, we believe as Muslims that the best, most perfect person to ever walk this earth, like we're all messengers, but specifically the messenger, right? We believe that that's the best of mankind to ever walk this earth. Okay, you and I, by that definition, you and I are going to mess up. And it's time for us to embrace the fact that we're going to mess up, and we have messed up, and I probably already have messed up by saying this, But if I live in fear of messing up, I'll never grow. And if I live in fear of, being afraid to mess up, I'm going to have identity issues, and I'm never going to be able to be myself. Because I'm always walking around eggshells when Kev's, because I don't want to mess up on his radio show. Let me mess up on the radio show. Let someone put something in the comments below and say, hey, SQ, that was wrong. You said that wasn't a real hadith, you just made that up. Let me say that, and guess what? If I'm a real dude, I'm going to own my mistake. And I'm not going to just take it off the internet. I'm going to make a video about that later on. Hey guys, just saying, I really messed up last time. Shout out to you guys out there for paying a lot of attention and holding me accountable. Because a lot of times people want to show this perception of I'm the smartest person in the room. I'm not. And I'm not afraid to look a little dumb. I'm not afraid to look a little silly and foolish, because those are areas of growth. And that's how I'm going to improve as a person. And that should never be the case that, like, oh, I'm just so afraid to mess up that I'll never take a risk or a chance, because that's why people are failing.
Well, I'm baffled right now.
Don't be.
I'm really baffled right now. So SQ, where do you see yourself? Like, what's the goal for you? Where do you? I mean, I know you want to help people.
Yeah.
What's the long-term goal?
Honest to God, bro. Well, as Allah is my witness, I don't know. Like I said, my business is helping people. That has no ceiling, right? Like, whatever mediums out there, I'm gonna do it. I was thinking about this myself. I was just like, SQ, what should you do? I don't know. I'm on a radio show today, bro. Once upon a time, a few years ago, my head was in a toilet throwing up.
Wow.
I was doing the wrong things. Today, I'm on a radio show. Yesterday, there was a whole event planned for me, and I was late. I'm super sorry for being late. Shout out to Mass Staten Island. I'm super sorry for being late to that much in the event. They literally created an event for me. People traveled an hour and a half for me, and I'm just so grateful. I had tears in my eyes, bro, because I'm just like, wow, Allah. Once upon a time, like, the party wouldn't start until I got there. Like, SQ's here now. And now the event, an Islamic event, doesn't start until I get there. And now I'm on a radio show. I don't know what's next. I'm not worried about what's next. I'm focusing on the controllable, which is what's now. And I'm just grateful for what I have right now. Whatever Allah, puts in my life, in my direction, in my story, I'm just super grateful to Allah for whatever that is.
Now, you talk about your past, if you're making mistakes, right?
Yeah.
How has that changed we all know how it changed who you are, right?
Yeah.
But what's the one change you can feel inside every day? Like, wow, if I didn't become who I am today.
Yeah. You know what it is, man? Like, when we have that jahiliyyah, which means like pre-Islamic ignorance, those are bad habits that we've accumulated for tons of years. It would be foolish for a person to think that those bad habits just disappear overnight. It doesn't. It takes time. So one thing I like to say about myself and others out there, that if you're someone who has turned a new leaf or is trying to turn a new leaf, and I just want to be clear, I'm always turning a new leaf. Every single day, I'm repenting. Every single day, I'm learning something new about myself. It's self-discovery every day. You never arrive at a point and just say, I've made it. No, it doesn't work that way. It's progress. Progress is something living. So me personally and anyone out there, like, I still have tons of jahiliyyah mindsets from my previous life that I bring into my everyday life. And I'm a work in progress where I'm trying to undo those things and become a better Muslim daily. I still mess up, you know what I mean? But those mess ups are not only between me and Allah, but they're between me and myself. And I look at those as moments for me to grow and progress and become a better Muslim. That's what I'm trying to do, at least. That's how I live my life.
MashaAllah. Thank you, SQ, for coming out to
Yeah.
American Islamic Radio. 100%. It was, great conversation. For all our viewers out there, you've been tuning to Shakil Co on American Islamic Radio. We have SQ here. SQ, how can people follow your Instagram?
Listen, man, Instagram, YouTube, whatever out there, whatever works better for you. The username is Way of Life, SQ, WAYOFLIFE, SQ, one word. Hijab Clinic is in the Bronx, BX, next to the Bronx Zoo. Major all highways, all that good stuff. The clinic is there. Come through. I would just be honored to meet everyone. Believe it. Like, I would just be honored to meet you. I would be humbled if you came over and I was able to help you in any way, shape, form whatsoever. So Jazakallah khair for listening. I appreciate everyone out there. Appreciate you.
Assalamu alaikum. Make sure you guys tune to Shakil Co on American Islamic Radio. Assalamu alaikum.